Okay, well, again, my name is Amy Rosenberg, and I want to welcome you to the 2021 board annual meeting. I guess that's where we are. I want to specifically thank Bonnie and her board for all that they have done for Kindervelt in 2019 and 2020. We really appreciate your efforts. 2021 has a story for all of us. Our personal experiences will forever shape us and influence our decisions. Stories define our history and how we will be remembered. The annual meeting is our story of experiences. We sum up the past year and record our activities for the Kindervelt history. The Kindervelt Foundation, the foundation is the groups that have met throughout the city who have Zoomed, emailed, made phone calls, been creative to work together so we can make a difference in the lives of children at Children's Hospital. Please join me in welcoming our president, Katrina Smith, to speak about the accomplishments during the COVID year. Katrina.
Thank you. Well, first of all, I have to congratulate Shar on the Barbara Fitch Award. I just can't thank you enough for your boundless allegiance to Kindervelt. It's amazing. So congratulations. Okay, well, what a blur. Just one short walk from the other end of the room, and now all of a sudden I'm president. And oh, that's right, I've been president for a year already. So that year went fast, and I'll use the pun again. I have used a couple times in meetings. I said this year is zoomed by. Thank goodness for Zoom, even though we all kind of hate it now, but thank goodness for Zoom because we got a lot accomplished because of Zoom. So as much as we hate it, we love it. So that was great. But it really was a fast year despite the turmoil we've gone through with the pandemic. The year definitely did not plan out the way I had anticipated it to, but in true Kindervelt fashion, we worked through it and found ways to fundraise despite the great restrictions. Frustrating was definitely the word that was used quite a bit because there was so much uncertainty. Everybody had great ideas, but what if, or I don't know, or maybe, or how long do you think this is going to last, or well, by then maybe we can. And it just really caused a lot of frustration. But we put those creative minds to work, and we quickly converted events to virtual format, which we've never done before. And I mean to tell you, some of those events turned around lickety-split. It was amazing, all the work that went into them. And we found outdoor locations that would better meet CDC guidelines for some of the events we held. So it was quite an adventure, but we did it. Later this evening, we're going to reveal the check amount. And I don't even know what that amount is, so I'm going to be just as surprised as you are. But there is one thing I do know for sure, that no matter what that amount is, it's going to be amazing because we really struggled with a lot of the things that we were accustomed to doing that brought in big money, and we weren't able to have them. So I applaud all of the groups that really stuck with it and worked through all of those tough conditions. I can't say enough about the Board of Trustees that I've worked with this past year. They were so flexible and easy to work with, which really helped me out a lot, and so for that I am quite grateful. I'd like to offer special thanks to Amy for this wonderful evening. She now holds the Kindervelt world record for 2 annual meetings held in one. So see, your first time on the board, you're famous. And she's done a great job with it, so that's awesome. I also have to thank Keith and Kelly, of course, for all of the support they give, especially as they helped us through our new normal, which seemed to change every day. Like they'd help us through it, and then the next day, they'd help us through that change. So we really appreciate that. We're so lucky to have such great people advocating for us. It makes it so much easier. And thank you to all of the groups that did not let the pandemic stop you. I commend you all. This past year was our first year of our 4-year commitment raising funds for the Division of Critical Care Medicine and the Pediatric Intensive Care Unit. And I remember when we first were starting, I got this great idea that I wanted to take some cute Kindervelt cookies that one of the groups graciously made for me, and wanted to take them up, to pass them out to the staff. Oh my goodness, the red tape involved in trying to make that happen. But we did it, but that's how it all started. And despite us not easily being able to meet with the division, everybody has been great to work with. I've enjoyed meeting Dr. Stalitz and working with her, and thank her for the fine job she's done as our contact person for the division. I also want to commend her on the fabulous job she did on the virtual tours. We had one in April and then one earlier this month. Yes. Yeah, they were wonderful, and it was so great to learn a little bit about the division, and you'll hear some more about it tonight too, which is wonderful because she is our featured speaker, which I want to thank her for that as well. With titles like Interim Director of the Division of Critical Care Medicine, Associate Chief of Staff for Critical Care, and Associate Professor of Clinical Pediatrics, I don't know how she finds the time to do all she's done for Kindervelt too, but I'm very glad that she does. It's my honor to introduce someone that is definitely making a difference at Children's. Please welcome Dr. Erica Stalitz.
Thank you, Katrina. That was a very kind introduction. And thank you to all of you. It's so nice to see unmasked faces.
Closer to the microphone. I might have to hold it.
So thank you. It's very nice to see unmasked faces, especially a large number of you. And I do recognize some faces from Zoom, even though I've grown to despise Zoom and the virtual interface. I want to thank you for having us here tonight, and congratulate all of you on your milestone anniversary. 50 years is an amazing milestone to reach, and especially for the members who are at 50 years as a member. 40 years, even 20 years and 10 years is a pretty amazing milestone and demonstration of your commitment to the work you all do for the hospital and for each other. Before I get started, I do want to introduce my colleagues who are here tonight helping me represent the division. Dr. Maya Dewan, if you can wave Maya, and Dr. Brian Verisco. And when Katrina was talking about Bonnie and her tenure, Maya leaned over to me and said, maybe Bonnie should apply for the division director position. So tonight I just want to talk a little bit about the Division of Critical Care Medicine and the Pediatric Intensive Care Unit, so you all get to know a little bit about who we are and what we do. I'll also share how Kindervelt's fundraising over last year and the next 3 years will impact not only the division and the unit, but patients, families, and all the staff on our team. So a little bit of history. In the 1970s, around the time Kindervelt was getting started, Dr. George Benzine, a cardiologist, and Dr. Ed Lowe, an anesthesiologist, worked together to organize and coordinate critical care services at Cincinnati Children's. Before then, it had been a little bit of a hodgepodge, but as medical technologies increased and medicine advanced, particularly like things with mechanical ventilation support and heart-lung bypass, they both recognized a need to have a dedicated team to take care of critically ill children in the hospital. Postoperative care was also at the time getting very complex with the increasing complexity of surgeries, so many patients needed to recover in an intensive care type environment. And the Pediatric Intensive Care Unit, or the PICU for short, quickly grew to become a core service of the hospital. And what we mean by a core service is that it supports and consults for many of the patients and teams throughout the institution. We see patients in the emergency department, we see patients on the floor when teams have a concern, and our staff and our fellows lead the code team and our medical response team. So in those years, at the beginning, the patient care was led by cardiologists and anesthesiologists, and eventually evolved to include pediatricians who trained in pediatric critical care medicine, which was a new and evolving specialty. Then in 1994, under the direction of Dr. Tom Boat, who was chairman of the Department of Pediatrics at the time, the Division of Critical Care Medicine was created. And then shortly thereafter, my predecessor, Dr. Hector Wong, took over as division director. So the division was created in part because children's was growing into a world-class enterprise, and to maintain that status and advance that status, the division was formed to meet the demands of world-class research in pediatric critical care medicine, as well as education and clinical care. Today, the division is comprised of 17 faculty members, 16 of which practice clinical medicine. 1 faculty member is dedicated to research. We have 14 pediatric critical care fellows and 16 research staff members. The division has 3 missions: clinical care, research, and education and training. Faculty spend their clinical service time in the PICU taking care of critically ill patients, and they're responsible for leading the multidisciplinary team that cares for the children 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. We are one of probably 2 services that are in the hospital 24/7, the other being trauma surgery. Most faculty devote their time when they're away from the PICU to the division's research mission. Some also hold leadership positions in the PICU. They lead our fellowship program like Dr. Dewan and Dr. Verisco, or hold leadership positions for the hospital. The division's research mission is focused on understanding pediatric critical care illness and advancing and improving the care of critically ill children. Our faculty lead diverse programs that encompass a spectrum of research, from laboratory-based research to patient-centered research, and extending to the community and population health. This also includes translational research, which connects the lab discoveries and innovations to the bedside to our patients. In addition, we have faculty members who do research in in fields of biomedical informatics, medical education, and quality improvement and implementation science. Our faculty are also charged with educating and training pediatric residents in the basics of critical care medicine when they rotate through the PICU, and also training pediatricians who have chosen to train and specialize in pediatric critical care medicine. Our fellowship training program is one of the top fellowship training programs in the nation, and credit to Dr. Dewan, Dr. Verisco, and another program director, Dr. Zakoff, we had probably the best match of new fellows this past year, and those 4 fellows will be joining us in July. Our fellowship is also known for its robust clinical training as well as research training, so it's a destination and a top program for any physician who wants to train in academic critical care medicine. The PICU at Cincinnati Children's is currently a 35-bed unit, and we will grow to 48 beds when we move to the new tower. We're a medical surgical unit, so we take care of both post-op surgical patients as well as patients who have critical illness from a disease, or they get sick from infection or trauma. The PICU provides care to all critically ill children from infants to young adults, with 2 exceptions. Our neonatology colleagues take care of premature infants and newborns in the neonatal ICU, and then children with congenital heart disease and other heart disease are taken care of in the cardiac ICU when they need critical care level care. The PICU has over 2,500 annual admissions, except for COVID, when we were a little bit slower because masking prevents normal childhood viruses. And the ICU team consists of multidisciplinary members, and we are quite large. If any of you have ever had any opportunity to see rounds or walk through the PICU and you see a huge gang of people, that's usually our team. We have attending physicians, fellows, and residents. We have advanced practice nurses, dietitians, clinical pharmacists. We have social workers, care managers, and a chaplain who's dedicated to the PICU. although typically not on rounds with us. And then we have child life specialists who are dedicated to our patients in the PICU as well. And then the usual support from occupational therapy, physical therapy, and any subspecialty you can imagine in medicine. As I said, our physicians are in-house, supporting both the patients in the PICU as well as other patients in the hospital as needed around the clock. A unique thing for us, we just went to that model about 4 years ago now, and I think it has provided more security for the teams outside of the ICU, and also for patients and families if they know that there is an attending physician also taking care of their loved one in the ICU. The Children's is a level 1 trauma center, and so we co-manage those patients in the ICU with our trauma team. And then for almost 2 decades now, we've had a patient-centered rounding model where we spend morning rounds talking about the plans for our patients, but joining us to make plans jointly are any of the subspecialists that need to be involved in patient care. And also we have parents join us on rounds because they are the experts of their children. We might provide the medical expertise, but they provide the expertise for their child. We are elated to have been chosen as Kindervelt's commitment for fundraising over these next few years. I will say that those of you who are in the 20+ year membership category, you might remember that critical care was also benefited from Kindervelt fundraising in 1999, probably for a couple of years before that too. And Kindervelt is the name of our critical care laboratory. So there is a plaque hanging in the lab that notes and recognizes the dedication and the commitment of Kindervelt and establishing and supporting the laboratory program and the research program of the division very early on in its existence. I will say that half of the funds will go to support the critical care building, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a few minutes. And then the other half of the funds will go to create an endowed chair for the Division of Critical Care Medicine to be matched by the hospital. Your gift will have a tremendous impact for our patients, their families, and all of the members of the PICU staff. It will help us care for patients and families in ways that we currently aren't able to do at levels we would like to. We'll have more consultation rooms, which offer families and their medical team private space outside of the patient room to discuss progress, prognosis, and care options. The increased space in the new building, the rooms are probably about 25% larger than what we have now, will better enable development and adoption of new technologies and care advancements. A larger and dedicated child life area will enhance the support and services our child life specialists provide, like preparing children to come visit their sick siblings, engaging patients in therapeutic play, preparation for and/or distraction during a procedure, and helping patients and families cope with the stress and uncertainty that typically accompanies critical illness or life-threatening injuries. Our child life specialists also serve as a vital support for end-of-life care and bereavement. It will promote and support wellness. Larger patient rooms improve the privacy and comfort for our families. New respite areas for staff will offer refuge when they need to step away, recover, re-energize, and prepare for challenging and emotional situations. There is substantially increased family space overall in our unit, actually in every unit. Lounges will, in each neighborhood, which numbers 4 in each wing, are where caregivers can take a break when needed from the sometimes noisy and stressful environment in the clinical areas and patient rooms. And there are places for them to spend time with their other children or family members, or share a meal with visitors who are coming to visit their child. Your gift is also supporting gardens and green space in the new building and around the new building, which is something we're all very excited about. There are also green spaces to which we will be able to take our patients. Through the creation of the endowed chair, your gift will support the recruitment and retention of outstanding faculty, like my 2 colleagues over there, who will advance our specialty through clinical care and research. As I said, Kindervelt's gift in 1999 supported the division's research program, which included the early years of Dr. Wong, my predecessor as division chief, and his research endeavors. Prior to the pandemic, Dr. Wong was our division director for over 25 years, currently serves as vice chair of pediatrics, and is a world-renowned expert in pediatric sepsis research. And he attributes his early success in part to Kindervelt's gift, which helped support his research program early as he worked towards securing NIH funding. Much like your gift in 1999, the endowed chair will help us retain and recruit top talent who will not only build on our existing really great program, but drive innovations that accelerate excellence in patient care, research, and education. So in closing, I would like to say we are very grateful for all of your hard work and dedication to fundraising, especially during a worldwide pandemic that changed everything, and I'm sure created many more challenges than anyone could imagine. We are also humbled by the obvious commitment to Cincinnati Children's that Kindervelt has, and also to the Division of Critical Care Medicine. I'm looking forward to the next 3 years, and I'm very excited, I'm not going to say when, but to show you the new building and hopefully take you through the new building later this year.
Thank you. Okay, we're good.
Welcome to our Facebook Live reveal. Thank you all for tuning in. You have a little favor if you bought them. Peel the aluminum foil top off and hold your wand straight up and down. And then when we give the count, then you flick it a couple of times up high. So let's try it.
Wait, don't do the end until 7, it's not 7:30 yet. People might not be on yet. You got 2 minutes. Really?
Okay, well, that's just a little teaser. We're giving you $0. A lot of zeros. Congratulations. It was the pandemic.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe one, who knows? Don't know.
Well, I'll go ahead and say what I was going to say when Dr. Stalitz was finished talking. I did want to thank her, and it was exciting to hear about all that's happening with the new critical care building and the pediatric intensive care unit. And we share your excitement because we know how exciting it is for you and for those patients and their families and your staff. And we're very happy to be a part of it. And so that's when I was going to say we'll get back to you later with the reveal because we have some business to take care of. But see, it's 2020, 2021. It's the pandemic. We are so flexible. We're so flexible that these things are probably going to really put on quite a show. All right, Tracy, 7:29 and 51 seconds. So
Keep talking.
keep talking. I think we're just about ready. I think they're all excited too, so they were on early. So it's 7:30. Here we go. All right, we've already, for anybody that's just joining, Amy has already revealed 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros, which I know doesn't sound impressive, but that's a good sign.
Okay, for safety's sake.
Teaser.
All right, well, that is not amazing. That is just simply amazing. Okay, and then as if that's not amazing enough, in case you don't realize, that number has taken us now, and how exciting that on our 50th annual meeting, we have surpassed the 20 million mark. And if that doesn't tell you that every single penny counts, I don't know what does. So, oh my goodness, that's wonderful. So at this time, I'd like to introduce Debbie Linneman, our treasurer, and Dr. Stalitz, Dewan, and Varisko to the podium for the check presentation.
Dr. Stalitz, I'd like to present this check for $410,000 to the Division of Critical Care and the PICU.
I can probably yell. I just want to say thank you. This is amazing.
They can't hear.
No one can hear? Sorry, Brian. Thank you. This is beyond amazing. As Katrina said, I can't imagine what it was like and how hard you all worked to raise the funds this year. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you on behalf of the whole division, all of our team members in the PICU, and all the patients and the families who will benefit from this gift.
Do a little bit of, rounded off math, and I'm like, I think we might be able to at least get to the, I wanted to get to the 20 million, but we needed 244,500 to do that. And I was just, please, if we can at least get that, it'd be really pretty if the first number was a 3, but it's a 4. Oh, I'm just shaking. That's so wonderful.
I never got my stuff to come out.
Oh.
Oh, maybe I did. Sorry, I was filming and waiting at the same time. Oh, so the film is going to.
All right, well, anyway, how exciting. But at this time, I would like to call the annual meeting to order. We have just a little bit of business to take care of. And our first order of business tonight is to present the proposed slate of officers for the 2021-2022 Board of Trustees and the Nominating Committee. I would like to introduce Jenny Meyer, this year's nominating chair, who will read the proposed slate. And I thank you and your committee greatly for all of your work. And as Jenny reads your name, please stand and remain standing.
Thank you, Katrina. I'm excited. I'm going to cry too, but that's okay. I want to thank this year's nominating committee. I would say who was on it, but I didn't write your names down, and I'll miss somebody if I did, but you have my utmost thanks. It was a pleasure to work with you. And on behalf of the 2020-2021 nominating committee, I am presenting the 2021-2022 slate of officers for the Board of Trustees and the nominating committee. As Katrina said, please stand when I call your name and remain standing until you're asked to be seated, and please hold your applause. For the Kindervelt Board of Trustees, President Katrina Smith, Group 78. President-elect Cindy Berger, Group 16. Vice President Kelly Anderson, Group number 8. Secretary Stacy Derstanton, Group 65. Treasurer Debbie Linneman, Group 56. Annual meeting Sue Crosby, Group 22. Communications Mary Beth Young, Group 78. Donor Relations Kim Tepe, Group 12. Internal Auditor Charlotte McBrear, Groups 8 and 22. Membership Linda Dieters, Group 16. Nominating Chair Nancy Groves Van Buskirk, Group 29. Projects Caroline Cox, Group number 3. Publicity Karen Tepe, Group 98. Technology Tracy Smith, Group 57. And our region leaders, our North Region Kim Lucken, Group 22. East Lisa Robeson, Group 78. West, Diana Peters, Group 68. South, Suzanne Nemeth, Group 65. The nominating committee for 2021-22 is Chair Nancy Gross Van Buskirk, Group 29. President Katrina Smith, Group 78. President-elect Cindy Berger, Group 16. Immediate past nominating Chair Jenny Meyer, Group 8. The Kindervelt Crafts and Gala Chair-elects are to be determined. Hint, hint, if anybody wants to do the job, let me know. Let the Good Times Bowl Chair Andy Mapes, Group 3. Past board member Marianne Stenger, Group 45. North Region Rep Nancy Sanchez, Group 49. East Region Melissa Wu, Group 50. South Region Libby Baker, Group 56. And West Region Pat Wall, Group 68. Thank you, ladies, for volunteering and saying yes when we called.
The nominating committee may have a seat, but the Board of Trustees, I need you to still stand, please. May I have a motion to accept the slate as presented?
I move to accept the slate as presented.
Thank you, Sherry Weckenbrock. May I have a second?
I second.
Thank you, Linda Lunsford. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Congratulations, ladies. The Board of Trustees will take their offices on June 1st. Pardon me?
You have to swear them in.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. Motion carried. We do have to swear you in, so don't sit down yet. Exactly. I'm still shaking. I told Debbie and Amy, like, I'm shaking still. Like, those balloons have just shaken me. All right. So as your president, it is my distinct privilege to install the newly elected Kindervelt members who have agreed to serve on the Kindervelt Board of Trustees for the fiscal year 2021-2022. I will read the installation of officer's oath. If you agree, please say, yes, I agree, when asked at the end of the oath. In accepting your position, you agree to work together to uphold the values of Kindervelt and its ideas, contribute your time, talents, and skills to support Cincinnati Children's and the children it serves, and make a difference while raising funds for Cincinnati's most precious resource, the children. You agree to serve as an officer on the Kindervelt Board of Trustees and to uphold the values that represent our organization, abide by Kindervelt's rules and procedures in our guidebook, perform your duties to the best of your ability, and conduct yourselves in a dignified manner that reflects your commitment to Kindervelt and to Cincinnati Children's. Do you agree?
Yes, I agree.
The Board of Trustees for 2021-2022 is now officially installed, and you will begin your term on June 1st. Thank you and congratulations. You may be seated. Kindervelt's strength, of course, is in its membership, and we could not do any of this without every one of you. It's now time to honor and acknowledge our 10, 20, 30, 40, and for the first time ever, our 50-year members. Linda Dieters, our membership chair, will now present these milestone awards. Linda?
Well, we'd like to congratulate everyone who've reached all these milestones, either in 2020 or 2021. Since we were unable to celebrate their accomplishments last year, we're going to do it this year as well, or combine them. And you know, it's just great, some of the milestones everyone has reached. When I'm going to do them in groups, so I will announce it. The ones that are here, we'll have them come up and receive their award. The other ones, if the presidents or someone from their group would meet me outside after the event, I will give you the certificates for the rest of your group. And I do apologize in advance for any misspoken names. So, and Vanna White is going to assist me with the with giving the the certificates. Okay, first of all, we have a 10-year Shelley O'Neill, Rosie Vandergrift, Jackie Kirkpatrick, Holly Poisson, Lloyd Johnson, Ann Johnson, Helen Nicholas, Elaine Schneider, Alani Zephyries, Michelle Young, Stacy Durstaten, if you'd come up, Kim Green, Stephanie Volker, Lynn Barclay, Ann Blackmore, Meredith Niemeyer, Jackie O'Brien, Melinda Oliveira, Laura Whitmore, and Bridget Williamson. So those are our 10 members. Okay, for 20-year, Suzanne Schweller. Is she here? Please come up. And Linda Lunsford and Gail Shaw Courtney. The other 20-year members are Jennifer Pauley, Shirley Moran, Susan Karwowski, Barbara Dahl, Jamie Dolan, and I'm sorry, I think Barbara is here, so please come forward. Gretchen Helpman, Patty Ropa, and Mary Ray. So congratulations to our 20-year members. Okay, for our 30-year members, would the following ones come up? Well, we have Shar McBrayer and our president, Katrina Smith, are celebrating their 30 years. In addition, the members are Gilda Horn, Nancy Burns, Phyllis Miller, Joan Cody, Susan Dye, and Marcy Grzelecki. So congratulations to all the 30-year members. Okay, for 40-year members, we have Kathy Hogan, Karen Mandel, Nancy Bossarob, Deborah Mitch, and Terry Mitch.
Wait, Kathy's coming.
Okay, and they couldn't join us tonight, but Karen Kruger and Audrey Lake are also 40-year members. Congratulations to them. Okay, so we have one member that has actually reached the 50-year mark, and we'd like to congratulate Sue Lazinski.